pandemic the way he
I knew what those were. It's just in the Bill of Rights. It was supposed to be a starting document. What's up? It's Tiffany Linnell. I know you were expecting Alex Unmuted, but he is out on a much needed break. So I'm your host tonight, and welcome. I have a couple of guests that are going to join me this evening. So grab your drink, you know the drill. Grab your drink, grab your snack, whatever you need, and then come on back. We'll be here, I'm gonna say for the next hour. I know that we try to go no longer than an hour. I make no promises. Don't hold me accountable. But what's up? Come in. Make sure you hit me up on Tiff Linnell, at Tiff Linnell on all the social media. And make sure you keep in contact with us throughout the show, Unmuted Nation. Send us your comments, your feedback, your questions, you know, the hate, the good stuff, the bad stuff, whatever it is y'all got. Go ahead and send it our way. So Alex gave me the honor and the pleasure of hosting tonight and spending time with you all. This is going to be a pre-launch to my show, Tiff Talks. It will air on Boss FM every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I promise you don't want to miss it. A lot of y'all love me anyway, so just go ahead and make sure you tune in, and then, you know, you can watch Unmuted Nation. You want both of us in your day. I know you do. It's fine. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tiff Linnell on Tiff Talks. Tune in. Awesome. Thank you. We have a great show for you tonight as well. So again, don't forget your drink, herbal remedy, whatever, you know, fits your fancy. I'm not going to hold anyone accountable to anything, but we are going to do some election talk, some politics talk. It's been a lot going on. It's 2020. Of course, we got a lot to talk about. I have some amazing guests to come with me tonight. We'll talk a little bit about Ice Cube. If you didn't hear, you'll hear soon. We're going to talk a little bit about the Judiciary Committee hearing that we mentioned earlier this week. We're going to talk a little bit about sports. We're going to talk a little bit about Black Lives Matter. We got a lot to talk about. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome in my guests. I have Miss Ty Nicole and Miss Erica Vincent. Come on into the room, y'all. How y'all doing? How you living? How you feel?
You know, it's Thursday.
Okay. Awesome. So I know we talk a lot about, I talk to y'all every day, and we talk a lot about politics. We talk a lot about social justice. We talk a lot about all the things, because we talk about a lot of stuff. But why don't y'all just tell me, one, introduce yourself to the folks. For those who are new here and, you know, they new to this, not true to this just yet. They haven't joined the nation just yet. Why don't y'all give like a quick highlight of what's up, my name, and what you do? Ty, why don't you go first?
Sure, why not? What up? So my name is Tariana Harris, but you can call me Ty Nicole. I hail from the beautiful city of Jacksonville, Florida, and I am currently a second-year MDiv student at Kaler School of Theology.
Awesome. Welcome to the nation, Ty. And Miss Erica, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Don't pay attention to my dirty office. Don't do that. My name is Erica Vincent. You can find me, but you can call me just Erica is fine, or E as Tiff does. Well, actually, don't do that. Only my friends call me E. Anyways, I hail from Newark, New Jersey, Brick City. I am a Jersey girl all day, but I currently live in Georgia, and I am the network engagement director at the Power Shift Network, which is a network of youth organizations that work on climate justice and other social justice issues. And I'm really excited to be here with you.
Welcome. I'm going to call you E the whole show because I get to do that. So everybody else can call you Erica. I'm going to call you E. Because I have that privilege. We have one more guest that I'm going to welcome to the nation. Can Mr. Yuri Owens enter the room, please? That's only Mr. Yuri Owens.
Everybody.
I made it. What's
I
going
really
on?
we should sing at the family reunion.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm here. I'm
Okay,
trying to do my thing. I hope I don't look like a bunch of whatever.
this
But
may
I
have
made it.
been an error on my part.
It's totally fine. It's
So
totally fine. Just I was just like, we just gonna get some links for it, and we just gonna go from there.
listen,
Praise God, we're here.
praise God, we're here. So everybody who was on the panel tonight, in case you can't tell, we all know each other. We are all kinfolk in one shape, form, or fashion, by blood or by choice. So all of my wonderful folks are here in the nation. So first topic. So y'all know me. Y'all know that when everything happened and went down with Colin Kaepernick, I was, rooting for Colin. I was rooting for Cap. I wasn't watching in the NFL or anything like that. And, the NBA wasn't as big into the movement and everything. Everybody wasn't really paying them too much mind because they weren't as big in the news as the NFL was. However, now the NBA is saying, at the beginning of the NBA season this year, they basically gave the go-ahead for players to give all of their BLM, Black Lives Matter support. They could wear messaging on their jerseys. They could have it on the courts. They could, put it on their shoes. They could do whatever. Now the NBA is saying, pump your brakes. Next season, we're not going to do that. Black Lives Matter support is now off the floor. They are going to go back to playing the normal game.
That's crazy.
What say y'all? Is this what we are looking for from our athletes, our Black athletes anyway? Now, there was a lot of talk about, ratings for the NBA season this year were down 68%. And so we don't know if this has something to do with ratings, but in my humble 2 cents opinion, the NBA has never really been the social justice, we got your back kind of crew anyway. If I, to my recollection, maybe I'm wrong, but what do y'all think? Is this one? How do you feel like the athletes are going to respond? What response are we looking for the athletes to have after this news comes out? And what exactly are we looking for our sports teams and our athletes to do when it comes to social justice and the Black Lives Matter movement in particular? So many deep sighs. Y'all are like just over it at this point.
I think we should just start out with the collective Negro side before we even get started. We all kind of just like, it's like one more thing. I think for me, I don't appreciate the reneging. I'm just like, for what? You've already opened the gates for that. But at the same time, I'm also a big proponent of celebrities are regular people too. And yes, you should definitely use your platform, but I just feel as though that, me personally, I'm not looking for you all to have this critical race theory situation going on while you're playing ball. That's not to say that you should keep your head down and just not say anything and not pay attention to what's going on around you, especially as Black athletes. But I think for me, it's like too many celebrities have opened their mouths and said something completely wrong and have gotten away with it. So it's just like, I'm hesitant when, just any kind of a Black celebrity with the platform joins the conversation, and then they're typically like, sorry, loud and wrong. That's just my little 2 cents, and I'm,
Heard and agreed. I saw some sighs from Ty E. What say y'all?
My spouse had to bring me a drink.
Okay.
Already tired.
Okay. That's how you feel. Okay.
Tired.
My spouse, thank you for
all
bringing
right,
that.
spouse.
That took me out. That doesn't mean
7 for 12. All right.
God, if you love
Drink.
one.
A drink and a spouse.
Hallelujah. I think To a certain degree, I think there has got to be some type of like training on what to say when we use our platforms, because I think a lot of us mean we mean well, but because we don't necessarily know what to say, we sometimes say things just for the sake of saying them. And I think that is just the most asinine thing you could do. I also feel like this is a complete slap in the face for you to feel like you have to tell an athlete what they can and cannot support. And I'm gonna just say this. If it was White Lives Matter, it'd be written in the rules that you had to support. So I just don't understand, why is it because it's our lives that need to matter? Do we have to decide that we have to hand out fines if you decide you want to support that in any shape, form, or fashion? Like what has become America, or the way I call it, trash America?
That's it right there. I think you make a very good point that if it was White Lives Matter, it would be all over the jerseys, that you wouldn't have a choice. It would be on the back of the jersey. It would be saying it within the national anthem. It would be all the places, all the things. Mm-hmm. So what makes Black Lives Matter any different?
Right. Somewhere in the contract, it would have been written that you had to sign where you had to support White Lives Matter. So I don't understand, why is it that it is our life? Why is it that that doesn't matter to other individuals? And that to me is, football is a sport for all of us. So why is it that we gotta decide whose life we gonna support on and off the field? Like that shouldn't be a conversation. I shouldn't be discussing with you what I am and am not gonna put on my shoes. Not when I am the reason why you make money anyway. Because had it not be no athletes, it wouldn't be no football. We wouldn't have no fans.
And that's it right there. I said at the top of the season a couple of years ago, what if all of the Black athletes just said, I'm gonna pass on this? If all the Black athletes in the NBA, the NFL, and anything else we're playing in just said, y'all can actually miss me with that until you decide that my life also matters. Right. There would be no sports. I mean, so at what point do we cease contract talks and just say, exactly. Oh no, I'm serious. Exactly. This is my life. This is my brother's life. This is my sister's life. Right. This is my mother's life, my father's life, my uncle's life, my aunt's life. Right. Your contract doesn't mean a hill of beans to me. Right.
We just sat through an NBA Finals that was, at least, if I'm not mistaken, 89% African American men playing. So if all of them decided I'm not going to play, there would be no game.
There would be no game, period. Erica, what say you now that your spouse has brought you drink?
Please don't, that's gonna
it's still very much a collectively side.
So this is the thing. When I saw Black Lives Matter on the court, I thought it was very performative. I appreciate it, but I did feel like it was very performative. And when it started to really permeate through the league, I was like, okay, this is performative. Some of y'all don't even really care. And I still feel like from an NBA owner, manager, commissioner level, like administration level, it was cute, it was marketable, but it wasn't, it didn't move Adam Nunn, the commissioner of the NBA. So I just want to say that. I also feel like what you're not going to do is tell LeBron James from Akron, Ohio, what he can put on his jersey. I dare you. I want you to do it and film it.
Please.
Right.
I want to see what he said. Because he don't need this job.
Don't.
Family set for the rest of their life.
Right. That's my point. You said something that was so cute. It has become cute. At what point did Black Lives Matter become cute? Why is this a thing where it's cute now? So why is it that now when we see it, it has become, oh, that's cute?
I'm raising my hand.
Yes, you're.
I'm not really. I'm new to this. I'm like, do I need to raise my hand like on Zoom? I'm like, I don't know.
You're doing this. You need to raise your hand, please.
Yeah. At all times, Rita.
At all times. Yes.
Y'all not gonna do me like that. I think to Ty's point, I'm really kind of just like adding to that because I don't want to say piggybacking because that just becomes to piggyback on. Like, no, I don't want to do that. But to add to Ty's point, I think that whole like Black Lives Matter becoming cute makes me think of how Pride Month has become commodified.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, cool, we can actually make money off of this. We can, we can do this, we can do that, we can market this. Like, all I'm imagining is some white grad who graduated from wherever with somebody's marketing advertising degree and was like, you know what, we can flip this, we can spin this, we can sell it, we can do this, we can do that. And I imagine that's what happened with Pride, and I imagine like that's what could potentially happen with Black Lives Matter. Now, by no means am I trying to connect the two or compare the two, because those are not the same thing. But that's just like where my thoughts kind of tend to like go, and I hope that I'm like not off base by saying that. But for you to say y'all can wear all the paraphernalia, you can do this, you can do that, you can support it, put your fist up, whatever, and then to like completely diametrically change that is just crazy to me. Though I'm not surprised. Like, I mean, be ye not deceived. We live in the United States of America. And we all four of us, we live way below the Mason-Dixon line. So, we can't afford to be, I'm shocked and appalled. We can't afford to do that. We just have to, continue to build that political power that is growing amongst Black folks. Although too many of us are starting to become susceptible to that quiet siren that is like, you know what, the other side kind of got a point. I don't want to hear that, but that's another conversation for another day.
Another conversation for another day.
I also want to say real quick that I feel like I wish I could take my black skin off as easily as y'all can take that sign. Or actually, no, I don't.
Somebody.
No, I don't wish, because I love being black. But also, it would be nice for a day if I could take my black skin off the way y'all can take that sign off the court.
I mean, that kind of just like puts me in the mind of what we see happening with Ruby on Lovecraft Country.
Right.
A serum, and then all of a sudden you just this white person, and you just out here just living life.
The show, not everybody's caught up. I mean,
you're talking about yourself. And I'm thinking about myself.
First of all.
Okay, for a show that I ain't never
seen. Noted.
Okay, well, get together.
I'm
noted.
Together. We're not talking about me right now. I'm just saying there are other viewers who may not be caught up on the show.
Spoiler alert.
Too late.
I don't really know if that's a spoiler. It's kind of just like a facet of the story. It's not really like a...
But I think, it's just very interesting to me, because it's like we can stop doing, y'all can stop doing this work. Y'all can decide to stop. For us, it's every day, it's all day. It is our lives. It is the lives of our children. It is the lives of our family. It is the lives of our spouses. It is the lives of just other human beings, because I don't prescribe to the ideal that someone has to be related to you, or you have to see yourself in them in order to see their humanity. If you have to see yourself in someone else to see their humanity, then you got further. You got more issues.
That's a fact.
It also reminds me of the privilege to be able to protest. Like, for you all, that's just something that you can do. But for us, it's a matter of breathing. We don't get the privilege to stop dying.
Black people are still on life.
Right.
We're still on life.
We don't get that privilege, so we don't get to decide that today is the day that I'm not going to die. Unfortunately, that's not in my hands anymore. Mm-hmm. So I think it is a complete slap in the face, and again, disrespectful to feel like Black Lives Matter or being able to rip names off your shirt and take things off of the court, off of the field is a privilege. Because for us, being Black is not necessarily something that I can wake up today and say, I'm gonna put my Blackness down and be somebody else. This is who I am. This is who I was born to be.
Period. Absolutely. And with that, we are going to move to election 2020, because it's a whole lot to talk about. So,
do we have to?
Yeah. All right. So, election 2020. Robert Murdoch, who is the owner of News Corp, which includes Fox News, is predicting a landslide victory for Joe Biden, or as some conservatives refer to him, Sleepy Joe. One, are we surprised that Robert Murdoch, of all people, is predicting this? And two, what are our thoughts? What thoughts, comments, questions, queries?
Boo. I hate it here.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is trash, dog.
So
I have a GIF that fits right here.
of course you do.
And it's Rihanna, and she's like, "This is the most ghetto shit I've ever seen in my life," and that's pretty much my sentiment. Because it applies to so many things, but I'm just like, yo, this is
Earth.
ghetto shit.
It applies to Earth.
To Earth.
Listen, the other
And you know who is sick of us? Mother Nature.
Listen, the other day I was on the internet and I saw somebody post that this is the most ghetto, it's the like child custody battle America is in. And listen, they said
that is it.
They literally said at this point in the game, I would just like to go to my mama's house because my daddy.
I would like to emancipate myself. Like, just
that part.
I would like to.
You know what? Actually, I don't even want to be here. Like, period.
Is there a cousin I can go stay with?
You ain't got no distant relatives. Anybody got a divorce?
I would go live in a box.
I know multiple people with children who be like, I don't know where they get that from. They are such an old soul. It's ancestors coming back and over it.
I really feel like
right now it's like, oh no, this is trash.
Right.
Little kids is
Like,
collectively like,
I'm gonna be real with you. I really feel like some of our ancestors, especially those that marched during the segregation period, are just sitting here like, this is some bullshit. This is not what we signed up.
It's terrible.
Some of these children are coming back like, y'all ain't fixed this.
No, for real. Like the kids are like collectively like, nah, what the fuck is this? Like, and it's like you can't even like describe it without cursing because it's like the expletives just add to like just the muck of it all.
Come on, muck.
That's
listen.
That was a word.
That was a word.
Oops, I let that one drop out. That's only reserved for me and Erica's conversations when we have an educated Negro conversation.
You know what? Anyway, so Robert Murdoch said that after, first of all, this was said to an associate. This is not an official.
Oh, okay. I was wondering because I'm like, I don't remember that.
Yeah, this is not, an official statement that he made. But basically what was allegedly said to an associate is that Robert Murdoch disagrees with the handling of COVID-19 that Trump and the Trump administration has done, and that after everything is said and done, the country is ready for Sleepy Joe. I think that we are ready. A couple of nights ago on Unmuted Nation, we played a clip of some white women who regretted voting for Trump. Now, I said then, and I'm gonna say it now, it's too little, too late.
Oh, did you now? Now you feel the regret. It was
now you
did it. You didn't feel the neurons in your head saying, "No, don't do this, sis. This is not the one."
Right? Like how? Houseway. I don't understand. Team, if y'all can get that clip and we'll play it again really quick.
I'm probably a good example of someone who's gone through a lot of change in 4 years.
Holly Geithner, a registered Republican, is a working parent of 2 kids living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She voted for Donald Trump in 2016, and she wasn't alone. 50% of white women in Pennsylvania did the same, according to exit polls.
What do you feel today about your vote 4 years ago?
I can tell you how I felt 4 years ago. Shame.
Do you regret your vote?
Where we are today, yes, I do. I don't think this is the great again that everyone thought it was going to be.
So Holly is voting for Joe Biden, and so is Nin Bell.
What drew you to Donald Trump? Why did you vote for Donald Trump, Nin?
For his celebrity. 100%.
It was the brand,
It was.
the
It was.
image.
Absolutely. Successful, funny. Like, he was funny. I loved his show, The Celebrity Apprentice. Never missed it.
Was there a moment when you decided, I cannot support him anymore?
It was almost instantly.
It's not just outside the cities where suburban women are questioning their support for Donald Trump in Pennsylvania. It's even out here in Westmoreland County, rural Pennsylvania, considered Trump country. We're about to meet two of them.
She's older.
I'm older.
Oh, you're definitely sisters. Joan Smeltzer and Julie Brady are registered Democrats and both voted for Trump in 2016.
I feel like I've been duped. I got it wrong, and it hurts my heart. I mean, it truly hurts my heart because the things that I saw I didn't take seriously enough.
Throughout the campaign, he was making sexist, misogynistic remarks. And then there was the Access Hollywood tape. How did you guys process and digest that, being out there and voting for him?
It was not easy. I look at myself and I think, how could I do that?
I feel like I did a disservice to women by voting for this guy.
Was there a moment in the last 4 years when you said, I can't do this again?
The COVID pandemic, the way he handled it, that was the absolute last straw for me. He didn't create the virus, but he kind of left us all in the dark guessing what was going on, and that wasn't fair to us.
Among the women we spoke to, the coronavirus, the president's handling of the pandemic, and the racial unrest following the police killing of George Floyd were the overwhelming driving issues.
George Floyd's killing was a pivotal moment for me. And when I read that he was begging for his mom, as a mother myself, it just brought me to my knees. And to see what's happened since, I feel like he's added fuel to flames of hatred, and that really bothers me.
For God's sakes, pick me.
Yes.
Choose Erica.
I got multiple questions. I got multiple things to say. Number one, it took you to the coronavirus to figure out that this was trash.
Uh-huh.
You didn't see for the last 4 years that it was trash.
Uh-huh.
You see that, sis? That's number one. Number two, this is why whenever Yuri, when me and you be having conversations about what we do, and when we have white women just walking up in the space and, you know, throwing their privilege all over everybody.
Throwing their privilege all.
Ma'am, go to the back.
You was one of them 50% of white women, wasn't you? I knew it. It was you. This is why. And this is the thing. What you're saying is that the privilege, the visceral commentary, that's a special kind. I really be trying to call people stupid. But but that's a special kind of stupid to say, I voted for Donald Trump because The Apprentice was funny. Girl, what? Say it again so I can hit you.
Not play it again so I can hit you. I saw Ty's hand first and then Yuri. Ty, go ahead.
I just
you going these hand raises.
Me and Ty are the same person, and you know we say whatever.
Exactly.
So we have to.
Exactly. I think we should be respectful because Auntie Erica was talking first. I just wanted to be right. Right. I just have a lot of things to say concerning that as well. Number one, did the woman of God say duped?
Yes. Yes, she did. Yes. That's much respect for calling her a woman of God.
And listen, everybody's a child of God. I just want to know, of all the words in the English dictionary, duped was the first one that came to you? Okay, all right. Again, I'm going to have to agree with everybody else. That is a special kind of stupid. For you to feel like at any point in your life, and I'm never in any place or position to tell anybody who to vote for, except for now, vote for Trump. But for you to feel like at any point in your life that voting for him was the right thing to do, proves that you need couch time, because that's dumb. The man ain't got not nail tat of just political nothing in him. And y'all went there and said, you know what? That's the one. He gonna be the one. I'm gonna have to go with him. You're dumb. You're dumb. And that's just all I have. Like, are you smarter than a fifth grader? And I can't even insult the fifth graders in that way, because that's rude to them.
Smarter than a fifth grader.
I don't like it. The other thing that is heartbreaking for me is Trump's been in office 4 years. Corona happened in 2020. It took you to that point to realize you had made a mistake? Yeah. It was at that point when you realized, in your words, you had been duped.
Yeah.
Dummy. Second thing is, when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, when it comes to George Floyd, the comments, the criticism that the president said out of his, that, let me not say the president, because my president's name is still Barack Obama, he just on vacation, that y'all's president said that came out of his mouth was the lowest of low. And for you to have to read that in that man's dying moments, he asked for his mother, that is only when it hit your heart. Why is it that as human beings, we are only taught to be compassionate when we understand? No, you should just be compassionate because you're human first. You didn't have to know that that was his last words for you to realize that this was a real life issue. It's been a real life issue. It was always a real life issue. And just because you're a mother doesn't make you any more or less empathetic to the fact that a Black man lost his life over something that he didn't even know.
That part.
And it has been happening, and it consistently happens. And you voted for the person who could give a rat's ass about African Americans in America. And now that we're at the point where your white life has started to be not matter, where you've lost your privilege, now all of a sudden, oh damn, I made the wrong choice. You made the wrong choice when you voted for him, when you thought in your brain, when your neurons and protons came together and said, this is what I'm gonna do. That's when it was the wrong choice. Not when all this hell and high water has occurred. It was the wrong choice when you thought it was the right one.
Right. Yuri, anything you want to add to this before we go to the next one?
No. I think we're done here.
Okay.
I think whenever I see pieces like that, I'm always asking myself, is this supposed to make me feel sorry for you?
Right.
Right.
Like, am I supposed to, like, I guess, like, feel empathy? Like,
face. It's in here somewhere. Let me find my black tears.
Listen.
Yeah, like, I mean, and I ask myself those type of questions, like, anytime I see, like, any kind of a puff piece, I'm just like, my eyes still dry. So what we doing? Like, I mean, I'm not understanding what we're trying to convey here, because I think for me, those white women voting for Trump is the same type of situation that I think of. I always kind of like draw stuff like that to other things from the past. So really quick, I draw that to the same way that white women allow their husbands to go down into those slave quarters and have their way and come back and allow them to still sleep in the same bed with you.
That's it.
And you see his progeny running around in the kitchen, in the field, and you allow that, and you thought that was okay. And then you write poems and books and make movies about this thing, and I'm supposed to be glad that you were this benevolent master. Excuse me?
That's the one.
So that is the same type of thing when I see you giving these white women this platform on CNN to talk about how they, more or less fucked up by voting for Donald Trump.
Right.
When I think of white tears, especially white women tears, I have 5 words. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
At all.
I'm not moved by your struggle or lack thereof. I don't, because it ain't struggle.
It's not a struggle, baby.
I'm supposed to care because all of a sudden you feel sorry for the mistake you made. Again, you knew it was a mistake when you did it. But since you thought he was funny and he was cute, you voted. And now you suffer. Welcome to what it feels like to be Black in America.
Right.
Right, and I find it very interesting too, just how the lady was just like, I felt bad almost instantly. Baby girl.
Then why did you
Instantly?
instantly?
That's
I don't
all
believe
it took
you.
was for you to cash your vote, and then you was just like, ooh,
And I don't believe you. I just flat out don't believe you. I'm not even sure that I believe Robert Murdoch. I won't
Exactly, I definitely don't
believe
believe that.
y'all until this asshat is out of the White House.
Exactly, that's the only time I
Every
believe
time
it.
I'm on Unmuted Nation, he's got to go. So
Right.
whether it's Robert Murdoch or them June and Julie and Joni and Nin and all them other people, until y'all actually put your money and your vote where your mouth is, I don't care.
Right.
Because come them time, well, I can't even say election day, election week, election month, because it's be honest, it's not gonna be that day. But
Go ahead and
I
call
just
it a spade.
exactly, I just find it. I agree completely, and I just thought it was very interesting that 2 registered Democrats voted for Donald Trump, and I'm just like,
And for you to say,
excuse me.
you felt bad instantly. That's like me stealing and feeling bad when I got arrested. Well, duh.
Right, and you knew what you were doing when you were doing it, and I'm sorry, but I'm just not going to make room for that type of stupidity because that's just what it is. I have no other adjective to use other than that. That's it, that's all.
There isn't one.
I would just like to say very quickly, and this is what I be talking about, and I'm gonna put my womanist hat on right now.
That's
Ooh,
it.
yes, put it on, put it on, put it on.
This is what I be talking about right now when I talk about women. Sometimes Black women, more often white women, being the largest perpetuators of patriarchy. Because I want to have a conversation with those women about what made you not vote for Hillary Clinton. And sis is not my favorite person.
Was not.
I know stretch
Was not. Was
but
not.
I know that she's smart.
Yes.
I know that she can read.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure on that. And I know 100% sure, 1,000% sure. And I know that she is smart and capable. Now, whether or not, we can have the conversation about whether or not, whether or not she is susceptible to, being pushed on the issues. There are definitely, I've talked to some students and young people that I've worked with that have definitely talked about how she isn't always the nicest when it comes to being pushed on some of the issues. We can talk about that. But I know she can read. I know she's smart. And I know that coronavirus probably would have looked like Ebola.
Right.
In the sense that there's 1 or 2 people affected. They in the hospital. They either cured or, God rest their soul, have passed, but no one else or not many other people have been affected. I know that much is true. And so women oftentimes, and sometimes Black women, sometimes white women, depending on the situation, are the largest perpetuators of patriarchy. And this is what I'm talking about, because those are the same type of women that say, oh, her voice is just shrill. She doesn't smile. She always wears pantsuits. I don't like her voice. I don't like, the things that she says. I don't like her tone and all this other stuff. When men have the same type of tone and the same type of confidence in their ability to do the job, and it's like, oh, she's arrogant, but he's confident.
Right.
I'm a comparative women's studies major. Don't get me to start. Let me stop.
I mean, it just all boils down to y'all didn't want to see a woman do the job. Let's just be real. Call it. It had nothing to do with none of the other things that everybody tried to make it out to be. It wasn't because she wasn't qualified. It wasn't because of any of that. Y'all didn't want to see a woman do it.
And I actually don't ever want to hear about the emails again. Alex and I mentioned the emails saga on the show the other day. If you want to know about the emails and the servers and all of that, go watch the Comey Rule. Very, very, very good kind of docu-film. That's not really a documentary, but whatever. The Comey Rule, go watch that. And there's an article that goes through the whole thing. But speaking of a woman being in office, Kamala. So it came out today that Kamala Harris and the Biden campaign is actually suspending Kamala Harris's kind of campaign events through Sunday after 2 staffers tested positive for COVID. It was a flight attendant, one of the flight crew, and also her communications director, Liz Allen, tested positive. Now, Senator Kamala Harris, fortunately, has tested negative, as did Biden. So Biden will continue on his usual rounds. Nothing's being canceled or postponed or anything as far as that is concerned. But are we satisfied with how we think, hypothetically speaking, prayerfully speaking, if and when the Biden-Harris campaign wins, how do we think they would handle COVID-19 going forward? Because let's be clear, all numbers are saying that a second wave is on the uptick. The numbers are increasing. We are headed into flu season. Flu season normally continues into the spring, and then you have allergies for those of us who live in the South and all kind of other stuff that comes up. How do we think their response would be? Do we think that we have pushed them enough in our questioning of their policies and their leads, especially now that, they've been impacted with some positive COVID tests? What are y'all thoughts?
I'm still screaming at Kamala saying, if the doctors and the scientists tell me to take the vaccine, thank you. The vaccine, I'll do it. But if Trump tells me to take it, I'm not doing it. I holler.
I mean, I agree, because can we safely say that Trump can spell vaccine?
You know what, Tariana?
It's actually time to log off. Let's just put her.
I agree. If a doctor says, listen, sis, it's time for you to go ahead and get this vaccine. You know what? You got some degrees. You done did this before. I got you. If Trump comes up here and say, all right, America, time to take the vaccine, I'm going to actually say, excuse me, spell it. Because I hear any other letter and that ain't supposed to be there. I'm not doing it. I ain't got time.
I also just want to say very quickly in response to your question, Tiff, I want to say very quickly that this is going to be controversial. I am not a huge fan of Black people running up in line. Ooh, pick me, I'll take it. I'll take the test. It just screams Tuskegee Tuskegee experiment to me, and I ain't got it.
Exactly what I'm thinking about.
Experiment is, go ahead and read up. You can just Google it; it'll come right up.
Miss Evers' Boys is on HBO.
There it is. Thank you.
There it is.
And there it is.
And there it is. I don't think that's controversial at all. I think that you are well within your right. Now, y'all know me. So for those who don't know me, I am a prime person, an example of somebody who refuses to get the flu vaccine every year. Anytime I go to my doctor, can we get you the flu vaccine today? Hell no. No. And hell no. Because the way my immune system is set up, it got a checking and a savings. And both of them say hell no, because you're not sticking me with that.
And if you inject the checking and the saving get messed up and I got to have withdrawals and incorrect direct deposits, I ain't got time for me to be in insufficient funds.
First of all, overdraft fees add up.
Do. Absolutely.
That little $35 it turned into $250 so fast. She'd be like, "No, wait a minute."
Now, I didn't have the $5 you tried to take out. That I definitely don't have.
No. And if you got Bank of America, they gonna get their $35.
Listen, Wells Fargo gonna take theirs off top. Oh no, you thought you had? Nah, bro.
You wake up and be like, "Nah, I knew I had money." Boo.
You add in your head that mental math.
That's that new math.
Math for vaccines tells me no. And I've said this before. So, Erica, I'm going to agree with you, because even if the doctor tells me to take it over the next year, I'm going to say, are you sure?
Right.
Because what strain does that go to? Because if it's the first strain, and we're on the fourth strain, then all that's going to do is give me the first strain. And y'all didn't know how to treat that shit back in February. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and stick with my not doing that.
You know what I think? Since we don't have a vaccine and y'all have the cure, everybody that voted for Trump should be the first people to test it.
There you go.
I don't disagree.
You first. Please, dip your toe.
If that's what you want to do with your life,
will there be one?
I don't disagree.
Those are the church are open. Somebody get the mourners, bitch.
Let me tell you what just made me scream. I'm gonna just have to say that. That little ticker that came across that said, "Wear your mask, baby."
Wear your mask.
Wore your mask.
Honey, this
Word.
is
Your
we don't
mask.
do around here.
I went
Word your
to the
mask.
grocery store today and literally was yelling at people, "Where's your mask?"
Who said
Oh my God.
Andrew?
Okay, so y'all, I was in the grocery store with the woman of God. Y'all, this was okay. Let me tell y'all something. For those of y'all that don't know Tiffany, Tiffany is already extremely bad when people are already in her personal space.
Germophobic, yes.
I should be in a bubble because when you get too close, she has an issue. Y'all, we were in the grocery store, right? Every aisle we went on. Now, for the life of me, I can't understand why people are still outside in these streets not wearing a mask. I think that's dumb. But we're in the grocery store aisle, and y'all, every time I turned around, Tiffany just paused and was like, "Why don't you have on a mask? I'm about to go this aisle." We literally walked all the way around the grocery store to get to one aisle because she refused to walk next to somebody that didn't have on a mask. And it was hilarious. And she was fed up.
I've been to the grocery store with Tiffany, so I know what you're talking about.
For those,
I'm trying to stop doing that because I ain't got time.
all the internet people, if you ever get a chance and you are ever blessed with the opportunity to meet the wonderful Tiffany Linnell Mack, the wonderful celebrity. If the woman comes and says, "Hey, let's go to the grocery store," the subscriber you have dialed is not in service. Set the number and go.
Are you gonna hear this? Doo, doo, doo.
Are y'all done? Are you done? Are you done?
You asked the question about the Biden Harris campaign.
Oh, that is the question.
Wow.
Go ahead, Yuri.
I don't really know if I have like a fully fleshed out opinion on that because I'm like, I think the reason why I'm having like a pause on this is because information is coming out daily, weekly, monthly, and it's like I think you can put forth a much more fleshed out plan, a much more robust plan from I'm going to say a Democratic ticket that actually believes in science. So I expect for them to have a much more robust response, but I don't necessarily know if handling it is going to be any better or worse because it's like the researchers, the scientists, the doctors are kind of just like, look, bro, we just out here trying to get it like y'all are, And I mean, not even trying to be funny, but that's typically like the type of sentiments that I've heard is just like, look, this thing is a beast. And it's crazy because it's a low mortality rate, but it's a high infection rate, which is just weird to me. I'm just like, y'all sure y'all didn't cook this up somewhere? Because it's just really weird to me, like, the fact that like people have been talking about pandemics prior to coronavirus, and then we get one, and I'm just like, some ain't right in the milk is all I'm gonna say. I'm not even about to.
The Obama administration had a pandemic task force. That they handed over to the Trump administration. And there are speeches from the Obama administration. From President Obama himself. If a pandemic happens, we need to make sure that we are ready and prepared to handle it so that we can stop it as quickly as possible when it crosses our borders. We can contain it and eliminate it. At least eliminate it, maybe vaccinate it at some point, but in the interim, eliminate it. I want to say sometime last year, maybe before that. I don't know time anymore.
I feel like it was within the first 100 days.
It may have been.
It went away fairly quickly from what I remember. I'm not. Somebody please, Google that or don't quote me, but I feel like it happened fairly recently into the 45th administration.
Right. Very quickly, the pandemic task force. Once Donald Trump sat in the White House, I refuse to call him the president. Once Donald Trump sat in the White House, very quickly the pandemic task force was dismantled.
Yeah, and they were in the White House.
Right, they were in there.
yeah, like they worked out of the
And
White
they were
House.
like, nah.
And I just, I don't know. I ain't got it for that.
I mean, I think to answer or to try to answer your question, I think it's for a lot of people, it's touch and go. I think I want to say that I have faith in believing that they do what they're supposed to as it pertains to this pandemic and just life in general. But Trump has done a phenomenal job of effing up faith for a lot of people. And I think we just gotta listen. I'm a praying woman, so I have prayed on Joe and the vice president's behalf because I need them to have this together. I want them to have this together. I want us to win together. But I think Trump has he just effed it up for everybody. So it's really hard to believe anything that comes out of the highest office's mouth because for 4 years we had a dummy in there who's just been in there. I honestly think Trump has literally been in the White House for the last 4 years playing SmackDown versus Raw with our lives.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so that's enough of that. Amy Barrett, have any of y'all been able to catch any of the Senate Judiciary Committee hearings for SCOTUS?
I've seen some clips.
Okay.
That part. I've seen clips. I have.
What she said.
I want to say I saw Sis speak for like 10 seconds.
Well, you're not far.
And I was, well, agreed. And I just was like, life come at you fast.
Come at you fast.
I was like, well, my initial question was, who do her hair and why?
And not even just who does her hair.
Ooh, Erica, you were so triggered.
But you know, Yuri, I'm with you because see, we're the same person. Because I asked that question too. But my other question is not just who does her hair and why. It was two other questions. Does she have a friend and a mirror? Because both of them.
Does she? It don't seem like she do.
Because
phone a friend.
Said, you know what? I don't think we're not gonna do the peacock vibe today.
So none of this has anything to do with what I was about to say. What's wrong, y'all? Jesus.
You knew what you was getting when you invited us. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Anyway,
I don't feel sorry for you, baby. Like you do.
Family reunion.
That's on me. That's my bad. I'll do better. Lord have mercy.
But I will say this: I was happy that Kamala got a hold to her the other day.
Yes.
Because I mean, you know, while I do have my qualms with a little bit of, you know, Kamala, she's a prosecutor, and I also love her facial expressions, the clasp of the hands, the squints, the move back of the bayang. All of that just does a lot for me. It really does. It's very much like I'm letting you hang yourself. I'm just letting you hang yourself because I'm about to get you.
We didn't have this conversation, but I had this conversation with Tiffany. I really think Kamala, she has these faces those are the faces that our parents gave us in parent-teacher conferences.
Exactly.
And it was that look like, ooh, when we get out of here.
Oh, really? That's what you did?
Oh, really? That's how you feel?
All right.
I can't beat you in the big public, but you might kill me.
Everybody knows if you got a black mama and she says, you know you're about to get knocked out.
Exactly.
Yes. So that kind of answers the question of how we feel about Amy at this point. So I've watched a bit every day. Y'all know me. I'm a fan junkie, and will watch all the things all the time. So today was very interesting. You know, they've had where they did the opening statements for a day and a half with all 22 senators, and then they kind of went into Q&A with 30 minutes. And then today, basically the Democrats, a couple of Republicans joined them in trying to delay the vote again. So today was just, they had that, but they also were having outside witnesses. So for example, they had the American Bar Association come in and give testimony of, you know, whether or not Amy Barrett was fit or not to basically be Supreme Court. Now, during the process of the Democrats trying to give their statements, and I will say, you know, it's very cordial, but it's very funny, which is part of why I love to watch these hearings, because it's not, you know, we see all the little sound bites and clips and stuff that come out on social media, and that's not really what it's all about all the time. it really is. They're all very cordial with each other and joke at each other and, all of that. So it was, all of that, it was the same. But they really were making some good points. And one that I wanted to highlight, and I think I said this in another Unmuted Nation show, is this is a key decision. And Democrats are trying hard to push it, not just because they want the next president to be a Democrat and they want that Democratic president to make the decision as who's going to be the Supreme Court justice. But this is not just a decision that gets reworked after this election. This is, and I think it was Senator Feinstein who said this today again, this is a lifetime position. You don't get out of this position until you retire or die. That's it. This is not something you get to vote on every 4 or 5 years. This is not that. So once a SCOTUS or Supreme Court Justice of the United States of America is nominated and confirmed, it is a lifetime appointment. So with all of that being said, I personally didn't hear enough one way or the other because the Honorable Amy kept dodging questions and delaying questions and not answering questions and not giving really firm answers on a lot of stuff. So, Yuri, I see your hand. What do y'all think? We'll make this one quick because we got some more fun stuff to do.
Oh, great fun stuff. I think for me, my biggest issue is the fact that the judicial branch gets to serve for life. There are no terms. I don't really see the point of being able to serve for life. Do I feel like you need to have had a substantial law practice? Yes. But do I feel like you should serve for life? No. But that's also how I feel about just people that are running for president and stuff like that in general. I'm like, y'all are way too old. And that's not to say that wisdom is not needed. That is not to say that, those years that they, put in doing what their work is not valued. It's just the simple fact that I don't believe that is the median age for the country. And to me, it seems as though they are out of touch because when they try to placate to audiences who are, in age groups like mine, I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with this? Number two, the most disturbing thing that I think about with Miss Amy, I want to call her by her name, the woman of God. Wow, Ty, I'm talking like you, Jesus.
Yes, that's how you know we're fam.
Lord have mercy.
The most disturbing thing was the fact that she really had no definitive answers about a peaceful transfer of power.
Right.
That's it.
I was like, you know what?
That's it.
Y'all don't believe fire burn.
That's it.
And I know that I have seen videos of these, I'm going to call them white militiamen that believe very firmly in the fact that if things don't go their way, they plan on starting some trouble. I mean, bad enough 45 didn't call his dogs off at the first debate.
He called him on, really.
Right, called him on. That was, yeah, right. They was on ready, so now they know they on deck.
Right. And now
we had to get prepared, and now we're on deck. And then we got and now we got Sis basically corroborating his same sentiments. I'm just like, all right, I see what we're doing here. But I do say this to the clear folk.
Come on, clear.
Do not get fucked up.
Listen to me.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have no issues with bringing down the wrath of God through these fists.
And that's it.
And these firearms, plural, comma, plural.
Period.
Parentheses, S, close parentheses. Arms.
I think that really quickly before we move on, Tiff, and I know you want to get to some other things, but just to reiterate what Yuri said, I watched a clip of Cory Booker, who admittedly is not my favorite person, but I'm from Newark, and if you want to talk more about that, we can chat.
Offline.
Offline.
Save time.
But really quickly, he asked her a point blank question. He said, have you ever waited 5 hours to vote? Have you ever waited an hour to vote? And she said no to both of those questions. And he read through some of the voter suppression that we are seeing already right now, where people are waiting for hours. Also, the question around the transfer of power. I reposted that on my Instagram earlier today. She never answered the question. Oh, that sounds like I don't want to really get in the political process. I don't really have an opinion about what the president said.
No, baby, that's not how that works.
Agree with a peaceful transfer of power. And she never really answered the question. No one asked her to say, and Donald Trump need to get out when it's time to get out. I just want to know if you agree.
Right.
And she never answered the question. She dodged it, and seemingly she didn't say much. It's like, have y'all watched it? I ain't see much. What happened? Nothing. Because she ain't say nothing.
She really
it was nothing to see.
Right.
And on the voter suppression piece, that goes into the next piece. I'm not sure if you all heard this or not, but there have been unofficial ballot boxes popping up in different states. California is one of them, and there are this is just ridiculous. Unofficial ballot boxes have been found in Los Angeles, Ventura, Orange, and Fresno counties in California. The California Republican Party was asked to basically comply with a state cease and desist order, which they are now saying they will not. California Republican Party spokesman Hector Barajas says that the ballot harvesting program will continue. The California Republican Party did not promote or authorize the promotion of the secure boxes as official mail drop boxes. When we learned that a sign using the word official was used in some locations on Saturday, we corrected that error immediately and within hours, which means they just removed the word official from the box. They will not, however, remove the box. They're going to continue the program. Thoughts? Now, this line with the pastor who had an unofficial ballot box. I believe that one was in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. I have seen an official ballot box. I don't know if y'all have seen them, but I have seen them. There's one not far from where I live in Decatur, and you can't miss it. But I wouldn't know what an official ballot box looked like unless I had seen that one. Now, if you have not seen it, I'm gonna tell you what it looks like here. I'm assuming that most, if not all of them, the official ones, look the same. It's a flag. It is an American flag plastered on all sides of the box. It's huge. You literally cannot miss it. These boxes are just regular blank with a little letter taped on it. And I'm gonna add a story to this. Sorry, team. Fulton County in Georgia released information today that the election warehouse is having a COVID outbreak. Not only that, in Georgia, we've been talking all week about early voting, 7-hour lines, 5-hour lines, 8-hour lines. At what point do we, one more that we also talked about this week. The state of Virginia had a cable accidentally cut on the last day of voter registration. To my knowledge, and if any of you know differently, please let me know. That deadline has not been extended. So now California is saying, California Republican Party is saying they will not remove these unofficial ballot boxes. We got a COVID outbreak at an election warehouse here in Georgia. Multi-hour lines for early voting. voter registration being cut short on the day of because of a cable that was accidentally cut. I just, at what point, about a month ago, a new rule came that you now have to have a witness sign when you turn in your application.
I got another one for you.
Please.
According to one of my favorite internet bloggers who lives in Austin, Texas, her name is Evelyn from the Internet. You cannot register online to vote in the state of Texas.
What?
In 2020.
In
the year of our Lord 2020. You cannot register to vote online in the state of Texas.
Texas is big.
Texas is gigantic. It's basically another country. It used to be another country. I'm not going to give you a history lesson, but it used to be another country. You cannot vote. You cannot register to vote online in the state of Texas in the year of 2020.
What country was it?
The country.
Don't do this, Yuri. We don't have time. Don't do that. Jesus.
I'd like to know what country.
No, we're not doing that. We will do that on a TIFF Talk show. We're not doing that tonight. No.
Oh, you know.
Anyway.
Well, you got to invite us to the TIFF Talks then.
I will invite y'all to the TIFF Talk show, but we're not doing that.
We're doing like a history
Probably on Friday.
Listen, it's going to be like Fun with Flags. And if you watch The Big Bang Theory, you know it's going to be lit. We're here for Fun with Flags.
Exit stage left, please. Anyway, you know what? Y'all make sure you tune in to TIFF Talks Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. For a second to see this and me. Anyway, voter suppression. At what point are we going to say enough is enough? We have a dictator asshat in the White House saying that he is not going to do a peaceful transfer of power. We have a plethora of voter suppression laws, not laws, trash happening. We're not even at election day, and this is happening. What are we going to do on election day? And I'm very apprehensive about what else is going to happen leading up to election day, because I really don't think anybody was anticipating early voting numbers to be this high. And I really think that's what it is. I really think that they were expecting this to be like any other election year where people wait until the last minute and just feel like they can just go on election day. People are not effing with this dictator. He gotta go. Mm-hmm. And so I think because people are like, he gotta go, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do. If that means standing in an 8-hour line, I will work my shift from this line, because it ain't like I'm in the office right now anyway. We in a pandemic. So if I got to log in on this here work computer in this here line, and that's what I'm going to do. So at what point are we going to say enough is enough as constituents and hold our officials' feet to the fire?
Malik, Yuri.
So, Erica, you can attest to this. Anytime we have questions like that, I'm always the person that's going to be like, okay, what's the causality of it? Or at least let's start from the base. So I think my biggest thing is us as Black people, we have not yet built up enough political power to ask those kind of questions. And we see tangible results. That's not to say that we can't make enough noise and get a conversation going, but it feels like when we do make a lot of noise, we only get a conversation going, and it's for like 15 minutes and then we're done. Like this summer with all the riots, like they were talking about them like nobody's business, and then something new came, and then they kind of just drifted off. So I'm not really sure like what it'll take for us to say enough is enough, because if we collectively don't vote, that's not doing anything. That's essentially just handing over the whatever election it may be to, those that would seek to disenfranchise us in numerous ways. So I don't know if I don't know if we have a solution for that, but I feel like we have to start talking to each other collectively first as Black people before we start moving on to something else. 'Cause a lot of us, too many of us want to run the play, and nobody wants to like put the play together, and nobody wants to just run their route. Everybody want to be quarterbacking, and I'm just like, we can't afford to do that. It's going to take decentralized leadership to truly move something like that forward. And I don't have all the components, but I do know that part. Mm-hmm. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I not TED Talk. I think that you said build enough political power. I don't know that we need to build. We have it. We need to utilize it. And until we utilize it, and by that I mean it's not something, and Alex and I have talked about this on Unmuted Nation before, you don't have to do a lot of things. You have to be in a certain position. You don't have to have a certain level of education to run for representative.
Oh yeah, agreed.
You don't have to have anything to go sit in your representative's office, your congressman, congresswoman's office, and just sit in their face and say, hear ye, hear ye. Here are my demands as your constituent, and here is a petition that I had signed that I would like you to follow. So I think that we have to use the power that we already have and then continue to build on that. I agree. But at some point, we've got to hold our own feet to the fire, hold our neighbors' feet to the fire, hold our officials' feet to the fire, hold the officials that we elect to office to the fire. Like, enough is enough. And if not now, when? We have a dictator, basically, in office. A dumb one at that. He's dumb.
Yes.
Like, that man ain't smart.
He's not smart. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Period. He's got to go. So at what point, if not now, then when, do we say enough is enough? And you're right. I have seen multiple militia groups saying like they're prepping for war.
Yes, that is not no stretch of the imagination. That is actually happening.
It's happening, and these are not. I don't think these are idle threats. I have literally seen.
Oh no, I believe them.
No, not at all.
I believe them.
I absolutely believe them, and it doesn't help that the dictator ass had understudy at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is giving them ammunition, literally. So
Black Lives Matter Plaza.
I've seen it. The sign is there. I was there the last weekend in August. It was, baby, they was out there every night with the shits. Like police protest. Baby, I'm serious.
I aspire
every night.
Of petty. It was great.
I was like, that's it.
It is.
That's it.
I mean, it's performative, but I was here for it. Just because this is like what trolling looks like. Definition.
I'm done. Go ahead, Erica, and then we'll move on to the next topic.
This is what I want to say to the folks watching and to the folks that rewatch this. Other countries laugh at us when they talk about America's need for instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
Other countries wait a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months for all of their ballots to be counted and recounted and counted one more time for good measure. We are not, this year, so many people are registering to vote absentee and to vote by mail and to drop their vote off at the election center, but not actually get in line. We are not going to have the adequate results on the night of. Get that out of your brain.
It's not happening.
Watching CNN all day, it won't be me.
Oh no.
I'm gonna be eating some good food and watching some food is my love language.
we're having crab legs.
That's
Erica.
it. That's it. I'll be eating some good food and
I
watching.
better be in the number.
I was getting ready to
Everybody on the screen. We're gonna. That's what
Okay, because I was about
we're going to Lithonia.
me.
because I was concerned for us to be this close. There was no invite, no address, no nothing. That's rude.
The pen will be dropped. Also,
That's all I need.
I want to add this. I just watched Explained today, and they have a whole segment about voting. I suggest everybody go look at that if you have a Netflix account. If you don't have one, go get your grandmama's Netflix account. Go get somebody's Netflix account and watch Explained, and it talks about voting. In other countries, they literally have elections on weekends.
Yes.
In some countries, it is your duty, like jury duty, to go vote.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have the option to not do it.
Get out of your mind. Get out of your mind that we're going to have.
It's not happening that night. It's not happening.
That is America's instant gratification. That is not a real thing. The second thing I want to say super quickly, because I know, Tiff, you want to move on. If there's anyone who is interested in running for office, you have seen an idiot with the 7th grade education. And my grandmama got a 7th grade education. So no shade to people.
And don't insult your grandmother in that way. She's smart.
The truth is never
smarter.
Susan's smart.
She's 96, and I know she's smarter than him.
And I'm pretty sure she can spell vaccine. Don't you?
I'm sure she
You know what?
That's probably you're probably right.
Enough of that.
If you are interested in running for office, if you have a interest in public service, there is an organization, a Black-led, Black-run organization called the Collective PAC. It is run by a former colleague of mine. His name is Quentin James, him and his wife, Stephanie. They are the Collective PAC. They help people of color, especially young people of color, run for office. And they are a political action committee, but they are helping people of color and young people of color fund and educate them on running for office. If you are interested in running for office, I insist that you really explore that idea, because it is possible, obviously. So those are the two things I definitely wanted to say.
At this point in the game, we could actually get Mighty Mouse to do it.
Okay.
Mighty Mouse don't exist.
No.
Never mind. Next.
No.
I'm pretty sure Mighty Mouse would just be like, you know what, guys, we got this.
Next topic. So, Ice Cube.
Oh, next. I don't want to do this. I have two things for Ice Cube. One,
are we done?
This.
That sounds like we're done. Are we done?
You know, I'm so glad we had this time together. But the second thing I have for Ice Cube is, in the words of Tyra Banks, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
Somebody's asking about a URL for the Collective PAC, Erica.
Oh, I will definitely get that to you.
I mean, that's all we got. Like, Tiff, like, my whole thing is this.
Wait. Some people don't know what we're talking about. So if you
go ahead.
are not on Black Twitter, Black Twitter bashing
the
Ice
phenom
Cube
of Black Twitter.
Right. Let me just tell you what's going on. Ice Cube. All right, so boom, in the words of Yuri.
Picture it. Black Twitter.
Picture it.
October 2020. So Ice Cube is being accused, allegedly, of supporting the Trump administration because he is now working on I don't even remember what it's called, something that he said in a later tweet that he tried to basically have conversations with both parties, Democrats and Republicans, about this organization. Allegedly, the GOP responded first, while the Dems said that they would work on it after Election Day. Apparently, Ice Cube went with the GOP and is now being thanked by the Trump administration and is now being hated on, bashed, canceled, whatever else you want to call it, by Black Twitter. Hence, all of the deep sighs, collective Black eye rolling that has occurred on the screen. Now y'all can give your thoughts.
One more time for the people in the back.
Any other thoughts?
So I spent 9 years in Southern California when I first really started loving and living and breathing hip hop, I was living under and around probably the end of NWA, Snoop Dogg, Tupac. Like that is definitely like the beginning of my hip hop roots, which led into, Biggie and others. But I love Ice Cube and always have. Like O'Shea, I have seen it for O'Shea. Like O'Shea Jackson, that's the homie.
You better call us government.
Come on. Somebody needs to.
Hello.
Well,
your name is O'Shea. However, this is the thing. I never necessarily subscribe to Ice Cube telling people not to vote. It's the contract with Black America too.
Thanks. Plan.
So I have never fully subscribed to his telling people like don't just vote if they're not doing anything for us, don't just vote. And I have been really intensely watching especially his IG videos, his Instagram videos, and I have never fully subscribed to it. Some of the things that he's been saying as far as like we need to make some more demands, we need to be very clear about demanding some things. I do think that Black people need to be more clear about our demands in the political process. I am not disagreeing with that. I would never disagree with that. However, all caps lock, comma. If you were looking for them to be discreet, the Trump administration has never been discreet. As soon as Kanye West met with Donald Trump, the Trump administration called the media, not Kanye West. They called the media. They wanted them to meet them in the lobby so they could see him meeting with a Black man. Now, Kanye has since broken off from Trump now, but I also think that he ain't getting enough therapy. That's just me. But to be clear, they have never been subtle. As soon as you even look like you agree with them, they go and jump on it and put it all over Twitter. So I am not surprised. I do think that Ice Cube is naive to think that that is actually something that's going to happen. I think that it is a ploy to get us to and through the election. And he will be on TV with the rest of us or on IG or Twitter with the rest of us in 4 or 5 months when we looking at him like, where's all the demands you made in the contract with Black America? Where they at? If, God forbid, Donald Trump wins, that's exactly what is going to happen. He's going to be right there like, they said they was going to work with. Yeah, because you was too quick. Don't sit up here and act like you with the people, you revolutionary and all this other stuff, and then you so quick, the Biden campaign said it was going to work. Now, do I think the Biden campaign should have said that they were going to work on it afterwards? No. The Democrats are too much of a big tent party, which is why so many people have so many really intense conversations about a third party system. Because the Democrats, I said this to my husband the other day, or maybe my mom. The Democrats bend so much to collect everybody on who's undecided. They will bend over backwards to collect everybody undecided. Conservatives and Republicans won't go an inch.
Right.
Keep their base. Why do you think that is? There has to be, we got to use real, and I'm not a political strategist, but if I can see that you are bending so much to collect, more people to make sure that we can get in there and win, and the other party is not bending an inch, we said what we said, and this is what we believe. Come on now. So I do think that, to close this for me, I do think that he was too quick to allow them. If I was him, if it was me, and even if I had a conversation with you, I would be on the phone saying, I'm reneging my conversation and my agreement with you because you were too quick to throw that up there for your PR. You were too, but now I don't believe you. But he's so loud about it and so loud with everything else, and so like, I'm this, I'm that. I don't care about these people. But you're gonna let them throw your name behind them? That's dumb. Okay, too smart for that. He should be. He's been around too long.
And why are we seeing? So I believe there will be some conversations on the show next week about Blacks for Trump. Why? What is it that we can't, or some of us aren't seeing? Like, what in O'Shea's mind said, this is a good idea? And I know that he challenged both parties, but when one party reached out to you, why wouldn't you automatically say, you ain't had our back at all? Period. Why should I trust you now? Why, it like, what isn't clicking that is making O'Shea, Kanye, what's that dude's name? Terry Crews. What is it that they are attaching to with Trump and his administration, do y'all think?
I think, and I could be wrong for this, but I think it's about clout. I think should Trump decide that this is he takes one of their advice on something, comes up with some type of initiative, then it would be because Ice Cube said this, or because Terry Crews said this, or because Kanye says this. To me, it's a perspective of, I'm important because I made Trump do this, instead of it just being about us as American citizens. Because if this was truly about you helping and you being a part and you bettering us as a country, then I would have been necessarily okay with them saying not now. But yes, not now. If you were truly about change, it would have been, for me, if I'd have made this comment to Biden's campaign and they said, maybe right after we get elected or whatever the case may be, okay, fine, because this is about change. But for me, I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, it's always about what I did for you all. It's that God complex, and I just can't stand it. Which is why when I hear stuff with like Ice Cube supporting Trump, or whatever the case may be, or Terry Crews supporting Trump, or Kanye doing dumb stuff, for me, it's like, at what point where was it when you were a toddler that you didn't get the attention that you needed, that for you, now that you're an adult, you need that type of attention?
That's it. Do y'all think, and just one quick word, do y'all think that working with the Trump administration equals supporting the Trump administration? Like, if you partner or work on an initiative with this administration, does that mean because some people are saying just because Ice Cube is trying to work with them on this contract with Black America, I don't see anywhere where he said he's supporting him. So do you think that there is a distinction between the two? Can you work with an administration without necessarily supporting that administration? Yes or no? Because I'm sleepy. I'm old.
Is this like a definitive yes, definitive no, or do we have to flesh it out?
Okay.
Not necessarily, and I have more, but you sleep.
Yeah, me too. That's why I'm just like, I'm trying
not to make this 2 hours, y'all.
I mean, well, since you don't want it to be 2 hours, I'm gonna just say meh.
Okay. Can Ice Cube be working with the Trump administration on the contract with Black America and not be supporting Trump at the same time?
The time to work with Donald Trump on the contract of for Black America was not.
It's not during election, no.
The election.
It's not during the election.
Years ago. There's a thing that
we should have done that. January 2017.
Right. There's this comment that our ancestors used to say when we were kids: "Don't let your good be evil spoken of." If this was really about helping, and this was really about moving us forward, the time was not 28 days before the election.
Yeah.
So for that matter, was the time to work with? Does that same apply to working with the Biden campaign? Should he have approached both parties a long time ago, maybe at the end of 2019, when both sides, of course, were working on who's going to run, who's going to do whatever? Because I actually don't think that the Democrats gave a bad answer. I think that if it was, let's see if we win, and then maybe we can work some of this within the first 100 days. The first 100 days of any presidency is always a big deal, and
I feel like that's reasonable. I
agree. I really feel like that's where it was. I don't think it was a shady, I don't want to do it. I think it was really about, if we have 28 days before technically for them life or death. That for them it's about if we can get in office, then sure, let's work on it. But right about now, we got 28 days before the showdown, and we have other issues that are vital at the moment. Like we got people out here that can't vote, and we talking about initiatives that won't matter if they don't get a chance to vote.
I think this is something that me and Erica have run into before when we talk about environmental issues, but people have multiple pain points. This is that same kind of like situation. It's not that it's not important, because there's all important, but it's like a balancing act. That's like, and it's a very, very intricate balancing act that's trying to happen. And at this point in the game, we're like in survival mode. As soon as we hit like October 1, it was just like, look, if it ain't about how we gonna get over the hump on November the 3rd, I really do not. I'm gonna have to hit you back.
Right.
And it's not necessarily like me being rude. It's not necessarily diminishing anything that you are talking about, because that is not what's going on. Can we please go from point A to point B?
Exactly. It reminds
before we start talking about XYZ, because our opponent does not have any moral fiber.
None.
The minute that the Democrats or anybody on the left begins to fully understand that the conservatives and Republicans fundamentally do not care about those that are opposed to their views, we would see a whole lot more definitive actions from the left. Because I mean, to Erica's point, we can't be out here trying to just collect folk.
Listen,
stop trying to get everybody. There are plenty studies that have shown you only need about 2/3 of people to like have sweeping change.
Now, somewhere in the biblical text it says he could do it with many, or he could do it with a few.
That's the word.
Come on, somebody.
All I know is he gotta go.
He gotta,
and that's it. And I'm not gonna believe it until he's gone.
Exactly. And I feel like for me, Ice Cube's whole situation reminds me of the drowning mentality. Like when you in the lake drowning, that is not the time to wish you had on a life jacket. You don't have it on. Get out of the water.
Right.
Not to say that you
in 3 feet, baby. Stand up.
It's not to say that your initiative isn't important or that your initiative isn't vital. Right now, we're in survival. We got to get out of the water before we can think about all the other tactical things we should have, would have done.
Also, too, need I remind y'all, Steve Harvey attempted to do that.
He sure did.
And that was during the 2016 election. And what came of that? Nothing.
Ain't seen him.
Kanye did it. Nothing came out of it.
Kanye out here telling y'all
he not deceived. Too many of y'all are like starting to sing that same tune.
Right.
And I mean, I heard some black dudes in the gym today talking about how they hated Candace Owens at first, and now they talking about she got a point. What?
No.
Excuse me.
I have another tune for us.
Mm-hmm.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Oh my God. I'm sick of you.
You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing.
Come on, G.
Oh my God.
I almost clicked the X on this. I'm not going to do this with you tonight.
All I know is he about to lose.
You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Please, no.
I don't say none of y'all.
I'm just gonna tell y'all real clear. Just want y'all to know this. When it comes time for the ballots to be reviewed and they decide who the next president of the United States are, when it is Joe Biden, I'm gonna need you to roll that clip so I can do a nice little twerk.
You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to.
It's the get this dance.
Yes.
I
want you to know.
also would like to say
I just want you to know from November the 3rd up until the inauguration, I'm going to just be singing it for no reason at all. Every time I hear something about it, you're about to lose your job.
As soon as I go to vote, you put my
Actually, do not be surprised when y'all hear this in Tennessee.
You know what?
From me, randomly, walking through the house. You about to lose your job.
We're not doing that. Anyway,
It's all right.
I would like to just shout out that normally this is the season for HBCU homecomings. And unfortunately, due to COVID, they have been moved to virtual or canceled. But
I'm so stressed out. I don't know what to do.
I wanted to allow a space for lamenting and to say lie for all of us who are missing the white tents, the red cups, and the hoagies.
I just want a turkey leg and a funnel cake.
I just want to
I want to walk around with both of my flags.
I just want a barbecue at the Q tent.
Listen, I
want the macaroni and cheese from the Alpha Tent on Brown Street.
I just want to, you know what I'm saying? I just want to accidentally have had too much to drink and get up and my feet get light, and I'd be like, "Oh God, it's about that time."
I just want to do the
Listen, that little, you get up a little too fast and your body shake a little bit. You got to regroup.
Now I've seen that from you.
I know you have. So quick story.
Too.
Quick story. I was telling the team today about a certain homecoming when I accused a certain someone on this here line about stealing my French fries. I still think you stole them.
That's not happening. That's not what happened.
I still think you stole them.
That's not what happened.
Like for all of our internet fans to know, these two are going to somebody's nursing home 90 years from now complaining about that same French fry. Don't nobody care.
She still
I wasn't present for the French fry event, but I believe the other three parties involved.
You know what?
Because we all know how edibles can do you. So yeah.
I don't know, Yuri. I might as well tell you, I have seen when the woman of God is hungry, I have seen her, catch hold to the food. So if she reached and it wasn't there, somebody got it. Now,
that's all I'm saying.
I ain't gonna
Somebody still owes me French fries. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm not gonna say it
so
was.
if you see me come in the house in Tennessee with that bag of fries, know that it's for you.
Just know.
Thank you.
Tiff, I bought these for you.
A bag of fries.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. But I want, in honor of the illustrious Spelman College, Morehouse College, Bethune-Cookman, and all of the other HBCUs, I salute you. I am sorry that we cannot be under a white tent together.
Baby.
I'm sorry that we cannot pass the peas like we used to do. I am sorry that we cannot give a good homecoming prayer like we normally would. I am sorry that we cannot do a swag surf as a community as we normally would. I apologize that we cannot respond forever in person. We are not present in body. Shall we be present in spirit?
Yes.
May you salute your red cup at home.
That's it.
May your herbal remedy treat you well in your bed.
Walk the text, mother. Walk the text.
Hiya.
May your colors
You
suit
should
your
have
home as you're into the grocery store and not to be free.
Hallelujah.
Join us again tomorrow, where I will go over the town halls that were shown tonight. Enjoy your homecoming season as best you can, and we will see you tomorrow. Don't forget, set your calendars, November 2nd, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Quick Talks, where I will be talking about social justice, criminal justice, and womanist theology, and a few other topics and segments. You don't want to miss it. If you enjoyed this wonderful cast of people that I had with me tonight, they will be on the show on occasions, not all the time because they're crazy, but
we'll be on there all the time. I'm making space for that.
No, we were doing a little promo and then you shaded us. That's not nice.
In alphabetical order, please let the people know how they can get in touch with you. Erica, you are first.
So you can get in touch with me. My Instagram is e.for.ecowomanist. That's e.for.ecowomanist. E for ecowomanist. You can follow me there. You can also follow me on Twitter at Mini Mama Gaia. That's MiniMamaGaia.
Thank you. And Miss Ty Nicole, how can they get in touch with you?
Oh, I was next. I thought Yuri was next. I got to learn my alphabet. That just messed me up a little bit.
You know what?
Anywho, you can reach me at Color Me Ty on anything. It is COLURMETY, and on Facebook, I am Tariana Harris.
Thank you. And Yuri.
You can reach me on Instagram and Twitter at yo. That is __YEAUX __.
Y'all these complicated ass social media names.
First of all, my initials are YO, so I was trying to be nifty.
But all the underscore. All right. Well, goodbye. Thank you to my cast. If you would like to follow me, you can follow me at Tifflanelle, TIFFLANELLE on everything. That is the Facebook and the Twitter and the IG, as well as .com. Don't forget November 22nd, not 22nd, Lord, November 2nd, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Boss FM. And make sure you follow all of my social media so you can stay up to date on my show, Tiff Talks. I thank Alex, the host with the most, who has allowed me to take over the show tonight. I will be back with you tomorrow. Don't forget, he about to lose his job. He about to lose his job, but I'm not. I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace, blessings, and hair grease. Adios.
You about to lose